Hey, good morning, YouTube. This morning I'm going to take you through one of my accounts, which happens to be my health savings account, where I put money in that I can invest, going in tax-free, and also whatever I take out I use for medical expenses if I ever take some out, and that will be tax-free also. But I'm going to take you through all my investment trades and dividends from this year only in that account, and why I made each trade, so you can kind of see the reason. I think a lot of times people make trades in and out of a stock with the only reason to try to make money based on the price of the stock, and that leads you to ultimately start to sell low and buy high, and that's not really what you want to do. So you need to have another methodology or process that leads you to do things differently than the rest of the market. So let's get right into this. You're probably familiar. I have Home Depot stock. I had Disney and Fox stock. The Disney came from the Marvel merger. And then I really like dividends on stocks. And so I have VIG, which is an ETF where it pays dividends. And all these trades right here were in my HSA account. So let's get right into the reasons for them, because I think the reasons are really more important than the actual buy and sell prices. Now, if you look at here at the start, first trade here was $316.52 versus the current price of $275, and really before this I'd been watching Home Depot stock. It was up to $375, and I decided I was going to buy it when it got to $330, and I missed the $330 price target, but that day I got down to like $316, and so I bought some shares of the stock at $316 based on it dropping down below. Now, as you know, the whole market was down after that, which kind of adjusted what I was looking at. Now, at this point, my reason here was really based on the price of the stock, and I wanted to buy more. Now, at that point, what happened was the stock bounced back down, and I was at my full allocation of Home Depot stock, and so I was not able to buy there. And so I kind of have this philosophy that if I can't buy more of something I own, then it's not a good investment for me. And so at that point, Home Depot was not. And so to fix that problem, I sold when the stock went back up to $321. I sold some shares of that stock at $321 to get back down into an allocation range that I could do a couple more purchases and trigger on when that stock price dropped down. And so this was really about allocation, where I sold at $321, and my allocation got down to a point that I had a couple purchases left in me. I was okay with the amount of stock that I currently held, because maybe 60% of my stock I didn't touch, and so I sold that. Later, the stock price went back down to $307, $14 a share less than I just sold it for, and I bought some of the stock at that point. That was kind of my plan, and I still had 1 to 2 purchases left in that stock, and so when it dropped down to $274, I executed another one of those, and so these were primarily based on the price, we'll just say. And at this price, I actually have one more purchase left, and I'm really waiting for a great stock market crash to buy at that price. If it was down at probably, $220, I'd execute for sure. Maybe $240 or $250. I'm not sure, depending on the whole market. But that's what I do now. 2 stocks that I sold. I told you guys before in the money move segments that we do that I wanted to get rid of my Disney stock. I just didn't like owning it. I got it in the Fox to Disney kind of merger when they bought Marvel, and it was fine, but it hasn't paid a dividend for 3 or 4, maybe 3 years since pandemic, and really hasn't been doing very much. So I didn't want to own it anymore because I didn't like the feeling of owning it. because of those reasons. So I sold it because I didn't want to own it. Now, I did have it on my sale list for maybe 12 to 18 months and saying I want to get out of this stock, but I'm not right now, not right now. And it had an uplift when they had some good news. And so I went ahead and sold it all at 119. And today is at 94. And so that, historically looks like a good time that I picked to get out of that. But I really wanted to get out of it because I didn't want to own it. And then on the Fox A stock, it was similar. I'd had that for 4 or 5 years. It hadn't done a lot except for, the merger was good to me. But 3 or 4 years and some other things I wanted to own that I liked owning. And so I got out of that Fox A stock also. Now in this account also this whole time, I've consistently held VIG, which is an ETF. I kind of hold I hold that for the long term dividend and the growth of that ETF. And so this is kind of just an allocation to the market for the long term. And then for the Home Depot stock, I definitely have an allocation to Home Depot stock, and I hold it for that allocation. So I wanted to take some minutes today to kind of just share this with you, the strategic reasons that I bought and sold the stocks, the price reason why I bought and sold the stocks, and then the reason that's just I don't like the feeling of buying this stock, of having this stock. And so if you look at Disney, if Disney went down in price, I wasn't going to buy more. If Fox A went down in price, I wasn't going to buy more. And for me, the only good investment is a good investment that you can sell at a certain point and come back later when it drops down and buy more. This is where you make your money, is between these two prices here. And so it's really on the sale and the buy you can make money. And so that's what I did at Home Depot. Any investment that I have that I can't do that with, or I don't do that with, is not a good investment for me. So if this VIG down here, dropped way down, I would buy more VIG. And if it went up to a reasonable amount, I might sell some to get a little of the allocation out. And hopefully this helps you understand kind of reasoning behind stock purchases and sales. I do not sell because everyone else is selling. I don't buy because everyone else is buying. The price is low, I tend to buy. Price is high, I tend to sell, or I don't take any action. And the reason I don't take any action is because I don't want to be ruled by emotion, because the herd sells low and buys high, and we don't want to be part of that herd. So I hope this was valuable for you. Like the video if you do, and subscribe down below, and I will talk to you later.